invite our panelists to the stage, please. Round of applause for our panelists as they make their way. Please, let's keep the round of applause going. Encourage them. Thank you. Oh, this is Peace Itimi, Head of Marketing from Cora Pay. Is Adora in the building, please? Round of applause for Adora, the DJ. Oh, let's keep the applause going, please. Encourage them. And last but not least, Gifts. Oh, hi, Gifts. I love your hair. Okay, I'll hand over to Ada now. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Okay, so just like Toby introduced, this panel session, the topic for this panel session is women owning our voices. And I'm going to do a proper introduction of everyone you're seeing here on stage. So I'll start with me. My name is Ada, and I manage the GDG and WTM communities alongside GTA as well. And then I would love for our panelists to give proper introductions, but then I'll just mention their names. So on my extreme right is Peace Itimi. Hi, Peace.
Hi, Ada.
So Peace is the head of marketing at Cora Pay. And I also have Adora Nwodo. She's a software engineer at Microsoft. And lastly, I have Gift Egwenu. She's also a software engineer at Andela. So would you guys mind giving proper introductions of yourself, what you do, what your role is about, and any other thing you want us to know?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Like she said, my name is PC Timi. I head marketing at Korape. Korape is a fintech startup in Nigeria. So I'm basically in charge of customer acquisition and retention across all our products. I'm also the lead for Women Will Lekki community. And then I do carry it on my spare time. I'm very passionate about growing people and growing businesses. So I train a lot, and I also train for Google Digital Schools for Africa. Thank you.
Thank you. So Adora.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Adora. I am a software engineer at Microsoft Mixed Reality. I'm a software engineer at Microsoft Mixed Reality. So basically, what I do is find really amazing and interesting ways to combine the physical and digital world together. Apart from my day job, I have side gigs. I'm a GDG co-organizer as well. I am a DJ, which everyone on my table already knows now. And I run a shoe business as well. Yep.
Thank you. So Gift.
All right. Hi, everyone. So my name is Gift Egwenu. I'm a software engineer at Andela. So what I do is I build web applications at Andela. And I'm also a community organizer. I lead the View Vixens meetup in Lagos. And I also co-organize Concatenate Conference and Jamstack Lagos. What I do for fun is photography, and I also have like a YouTube channel.
Okay, thank you. So, like I said, the topic is women owning our voices, and the aim of this entire breakfast event and this panel session is to get everyone here who's attending to learn the art of self-promotion, promoting yourself, your wins, every good thing about you, visibility, and then also back to women owning your own voices. So the very first question I'm going to ask is going to go to Peace. And it's, how do you recommend women to speak up and own their voices in their workplace?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. How do I recommend women to speak up and own your voices? Literally to speak up. Right, there's no other way about it. I mean, it's very easy for us to be shy about our achievement. So I think the very first thing is to own it. There's one quote I like very much that says, it's not bragging if it's fact. So as long as you know that what you are doing, you have the skills, you have the expertise, you have some experience, as long as you know it, then own it and keep talking about it. Because at the end of the day, if we don't promote ourselves, people might never know that you're that good. They might never recognize it. They might not ever give you the achievement. So we can't be waiting for somebody else to say, oh, you do good work. If you know you do good work and you have the skills, sometimes say, oh, I did this, or I did achieve this week, or I learned this week. You have to be able to just speak up. So own it and then speak up about it.
Okay, Adora or Gabe, do you have anything to add to that?
I guess, I mean, people will tell you that the biggest advocate for you is you. So you should learn to, as far as you know that you are doing things, and in these things that you are doing, you're constantly adding value to the people around you, you shouldn't be afraid to say something because of any reason. Like, you should always, because at the end of the day, you have to start rooting for you first before anyone is going to try to root for you, except you have like really close friends that see that you have a talent and they want to root for you. But in most cases, it has to start with you. So you just have to get that courage somehow to speak up and then just know that.
Okay, so the next question was meant to be a random question, but since you're holding the mic, as a woman in tech, what are the points in your career that has been the most memorable?
Most memorable points in my career, to be honest, was there's so many. I'm trying to find one. Okay, any random one. So at the office, there was like an email that went around that they're trying to find a lady to own up to be like a leader for one of the initiatives that they're trying to do. And every girl on my team, like nobody responded to that email. And then because I was already doing something at the time, I didn't want to do it, right? But then because nobody responded, I'm like, at this point, nobody's probably going to respond. So let me just be that person and reply to this email. So I said, okay, hi, I've thought about this. I think I want to do it. And so I think 3 weeks after that, we all had to go for a conference in Orlando. I was at GHC this year. So at the GHC thing, we had like a dinner with everyone in my team, like global team, not just the team in Africa. And then different, like, you know, people like that you just want to touch their garments, that kind of thing. It was so surprising that one of the VPs of my organization knew me. Like, he wrote a thank you note and addressed it to me. And then when he saw me, he was literally trying to talk to me and then just really appreciating the fact that I was able to own up and do what I did. And a bunch of other people like trying to appreciate me, sending me gifts. And it was a lot for me at the time because I was really happy when I got back to my hotel room that night. So I would say not only the job that you are doing, but all these other little things could go a long way. Yeah, so it was really cool for me.
Okay.
Okay, so one of the most memorable moments in my career happened recently, actually. So like I mentioned, I am into communities, right? I build communities. And recently I held a View Vixens workshop. And at first, when I put out information about this workshop, few people signed up. Because in the whole tech ecosystem, when you put out a notification about an event, you see so many guys are the ones interested, and then ladies, you tend to like beg or wait for them to RSVP to that event. So when I found out, at first it was like 15 people and my budget was about for 50 ladies to attend the workshop, and it was like 3 days to the event. Only for me to check like 3 days later and I saw over 70 attendees, all women, registered to attend the workshop. I was really excited, but it's one thing to be excited and it's one thing to see the turn up, right? And when I started the workshop, one thing that I noticed, about 40 women showed up, right? But one thing I noticed when everybody was giving their introduction was they had no previous knowledge with Vue.js, because the workshop was for you to learn how to build a web app with Vue. But to my surprise, after the entire workshop, almost everybody in that room walked home with a web app that they built, and they were really appreciative. Like, I got messages later that, Gift, I'm so thankful for this workshop, and it was just so amazing. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, the next question is to you, actually. So for those of you who don't know, Gift is also a YouTuber. She does tech vlogs, talks about several things on her YouTube channel. So the question I want to ask you is, with everything that you do, photography, vlogging, and also your career as a software engineer, have you been intentional with all your actions in your career? And if yes, how have you been intentional about it?
Okay, first of all, I would say doing everything at once is actually a lot, and it takes motivation to keep up. But yeah, I would say yes, I've been intentional in my career because even with everything that I'm doing, I still see my career growth, right? So recently, I got, I don't know if I should say this. Should I? Okay. So recently, I got an opportunity to attend a conference in the US, and this was just because of like everything that I've done, my community work. And one thing I would say is, as a developer or as a woman in tech in general, just try to put yourself out there. You might not know people are actually seeing the little things that you're doing. So career-wise, I feel like I'm growing, even with the extra things that I'm doing on the side. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is to Peace. All right, so according to a report, almost 40% of women-established businesses in sub-Saharan Africa were discontinued due to unprofitability in 2016. Now, any idea how to solve this?
It's a very interesting question. Can you repeat it again? Let me be sure.
So the report says 40% of women-established business in sub-Saharan Africa had to be discontinued due to unprofitability. That's at 2016. So any idea why and how to solve this?
So any idea why? There could be different reasons. I mean, it's business. Lots of businesses fail. I mean, if we look at the stats, there are going to be a lot of men-owned businesses that also fail, right? So there could be different reasons. But I would say that it's very important for us women because it's very easy for women to wait till they are super successful before they start asking for a co-founder, before they start asking for grants, before they start asking for investors. And sometimes you need those things to actually scale up. You need those things to actually survive as a business. But usually we're very shy, we're very laid back. We want to have it all figured out, right? So it's one of the reasons could be that a lot of these women are just trying to do it on their own, not speaking out, not asking for help, not asking for a co-founder, not asking for grants, things that could actually give them the support and the wisdom that they need to actually scale up their business. So if there's one thing that we can do is, it's easy to have an idea, but it's not easy to start. When you do start, get as much support as you can because no man is an island. You can't do everything by yourself. And when you have support from people, whether it's just in resources, whether it's in money, whether it's in connections, these are things that can help you in growing your business.
Yeah. Thank you. Does anyone else add any other things to that? Okay, great.
Okay, based on my own personal view, I feel like we have a lot less female business or co-founders in Africa because if you look at the entire ecosystem, we have more CEOs that are guys or male in general. And to these women, they don't really have somebody that they can look up to that are already very successful. In fact, they have, but they are not as much as the guys. So something like that could be part of the reason why they feel like if their business is not growing, they would rather discontinue it and find something else that they feel they want to do. But something that I would say or I would suggest to solve that problem is to come together like we should have, the way we have women tech makers, we can also have a network of female co-founders and founders that they can discuss their wins, their struggles, and you see that things would improve.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so I'll be asking one last question, and we'll be taking just 2 questions from the audience if anyone has any question. So the last question is to you, Adora. Now, what ways do you think you and every other woman out here can be more visible in your career and in their career?
Visibility is quite tricky. I mean, there are even some people that would rather not be visible. I don't know why, but there's some people like that. I think I used to work in advertising before, so pardon me if I say a lot of things that might not make sense. But I would say it goes back to brand building in a way, and one of the questions that you asked, being deliberate about most of the steps that you make, because it's very important. Good things happen by chance, yes, but there are some things that you have to plan. There's there's some things that you have to decide. There's some plans that you have to make for things to just go the way you want it to. At least you should have like a plan or something in your life in general that by XYZ time, I want to have accomplished this and done this and done that. Visibility in your career helps a lot. And how you would do that is by being intentional about building your brand. I mean, it could start with something really little, right? Putting up like a website of yourself, right? Then being intentional about, and also when it comes to you building your brand, you need to identify the kind of human being that you are, right? So you use that as how you want to deliver the message to whatever audience that you're choosing to connect with. If you decide that, when you have that, you can now decide to choose, I don't know, social media is also really important in my opinion. I think LinkedIn is a good place for you to be, Twitter is a good place for you to be, and just being deliberate about communities that you join on social media and conversations that you have on social media, being deliberate about these sort of things. To be visible, that means, being visible means people need to see you, right? And for people to see you, you need to position yourself so that you can be seen. So you need to do all these things so that you are, and sometimes visibility actually helps you get some kind of opportunities that you wouldn't have had access to initially. So I would advise you that it's just nice to put yourself in that place, like put yourself together so that you can be visible when that good opportunity comes, and also make sure that you also have the knowledge needed. So when that good opportunity comes and you are required to do things, you will be able to get it and not just be one of the people that were supposed to get it but didn't.
Okay, so Peace, yeah.
I think that's a very good advice. I would just say tell your story. And don't wait till you have success story. I think it's one of the things that people wait for. I need to finish that course first, and then I will now post the picture of the certification. Or I need to, first of all get a job and maybe get a promotion. Not necessarily, right? Telling your story means that you can also tell your progress story. So I just started the course today. It's going to take me 3 months, but hey, I'm learning a course. Some people might just follow your journey, get inspired by it. That's also visibility. So don't wait to necessarily have it all figured out, because sometimes branding can seem like it's a long shot. You feel like you have to do a lot of things to get put together before you start putting yourself out there. Everybody here at least has a social media account. You can start with that to gain visibility by just sharing your progress story and just letting people know who you are. We're not saying fake it till you make it, but we're saying be yourself and let people know that you are improving every day. If something good happens and you want to share it, feel free to share it. If you're learning something today, feel free to share it. Just make sure that on the platforms where you're already comfortable using, that you're telling your story every day. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So we're taking just 2 questions. We've talked about how to be visible, how to own your voice, and how to just sell yourself and promote yourself. Does anyone have any question from the audience? Okay, get you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Caroline. So the question I want to ask is that how can a woman in tech also be successful in another business apart from tech?
So basically you're asking how can you have your tech career and also be successful in other areas of like your life. I don't know if people consider me successful, but I'll use myself as an example. So I currently have, like I said, I have my day job, which is a software engineer at Microsoft. And I have a YouTube channel as well. I actually forgot to say that. We have a YouTube channel. And then, I have my shoe business, and then I do a bunch of other things, right? I don't take my DJing seriously, but I like to mix music, and I love it so much. I think it's important to learn to prioritize things, right? You don't have to do 1 million things at the same time. But to be honest, if there are things that you really love to do, you should find time to do that. Learn to prioritize your time so that you can be like productive in things that you have to do. I know Lagos is a hard place to live. Even like this past week alone, traffic has been very annoying. And then imagine having things to do and spending that much time on the road. Before you get to the house, you are tired. Then you sleep. And this thing you said you wanted to do, maybe like if you had like a side business where you sell things from China or anything like that, even responding to DMs, you get tired. It's understandable, and I get it. But you need to learn to motivate yourself, because if you don't, it's going to get a lot harder for you. And then at some point, you're not going to feel like this thing that you once loved or this thing that you once had interest in, you want to do anymore, then you're going to drop it. And the truth is, for you to think about doing it in the first place, there was a reason why, right? So you need to always keep remembering that reason and keep motivating yourself to do things that matter to you and somehow find time to do it. Sometimes it might mean, for some people, it's not only time. And for self-motivation, it's not something that you might want to do alone. For example, if you are someone that has a goal of, I don't know, getting your body to a certain shape so that you can be maybe a model or whatever it is that you want to be, or do some things, I don't know, with that body, or just be like a fitness person or whatever. It's a goal that you have because maybe it's something that you like, but somehow you've not been able to do it because anytime you try, your body aches you, and then you go home and you eat shawarma. You can find somebody, right, that has similar goals as you, that you guys do these things together and you share your progress. So there are little ways that you can do things to help motivate you, right? And it's also important to have people around you with maybe not the same goals, but people around you with positive energy that can actually help support you, because that thing means a lot. And sometimes you will feel down sometimes. It's normal to feel like, there's sometimes that I will just be like, at this point, I want to just go and see my CSC certificates because it's a registered business, my shoe thing. And then my mom, my family members, my parents, my brothers, they keep me going sometimes when I get to that point where I feel like I'm not making as much money as I'm supposed to, or I'm not being innovative with my products as I'm supposed to. So these things happen. So sometimes having that support system, people that you can do things with and share your progress, and just learning to be disciplined so that you can do these things, I feel they matter a lot. Anybody?
Okay, so my question is for three of you. Like, did you know, like, did you guys know, like, okay, like 3 or 4 years ago, like this is where I was going to be, or this was what I was going to do, or like discovering yourself, like, were you so sure, like, I'm going to be a software engineer, or like we die here, or you kind of found yourself along the way?
So I don't know if everybody had a question. Our question is, 4 or 5 years ago, were we sure that we're going to be here? My answer is no, I wasn't. One of the very key lessons I've learned in life is that clarity comes in doing, right? You would never know the next step until you take the first one. So do I have big dreams? Yes, I do. I don't know where I'll be in 5 years, but I have an idea that I might be successful. The reason is because I'm currently doing that. So 5 years ago, all I did was be good, be very good at everything I was doing at that point, and to take up every opportunity I had. I think those are the 2 things that has really helped me, that at every point in my life, or whatever it is I'm doing, I'm trying to be the best. I'm trying to be as excellent as I can. And then when I see an opportunity, I'm not questioning it. I'm running after it. I will start doing it. And even if I start, I realize, okay, this is not for me. At least I know that that's not for me, and I can restrict myself back. Some people say, oh, I want to find my purpose. I want to find my passion. And you're sitting down, praying to God. It doesn't happen. You only know what you're passionate and good at by doing it. So if you are here already, that's fine. Keep learning what you're learning. Maybe at one point you wake up and say, oh, okay, coding is not for me. I want to do something else, but at least you know. So no, I didn't have an idea, but I kept taking different steps and being good and taking opportunities and collaborating and learning. And as I do, the next thing I want to do becomes clearer. The next opportunity becomes better over and over again.
Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you to the ladies who asked questions. And a very big thank you to you, Peace, Adora, and Gift. I'm pretty sure some of them might still be around. If you have questions that you are not opportune to ask them on stage, they'll probably be around to answer your questions, or you can get their contacts and reach out to them later on. It's fine if they reach out to you guys on Twitter, right? Okay, great. So a big round of applause for them, and thank you guys.